Welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry Ricard. I'm bringing you weekly interviews with fascinating guests, with action-packed episodes, highly relatable stories that help women reboot, regroup, and reinvent themselves in family, community, lifestyle, and business. And of course, always committed to keeping it real. Now let's dive in.
The loss of a loved one is a nearly universal emotional crisis. Unprocessed grief and painful feelings can be buried, leaving you to feel numb. But there is hope. Certified grief counselor, RN, and author Sherry Ricard shares her story of how to cope in her first book, Wake Up Call, A Mother's Grief Journey, after the loss of her 17-year-old son. This book, along with Sherry's other books, are available on Amazon as well as on sherryricard.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Real Girl Talk, and I have a special guest and my friend with me today, Kelsey Nichols. Kelsey Nichols is from Southern Charm of New Orleans on Bravo TV. Hey Kelsey.
Hi everyone.
I am so excited to have Kelsey on my show. I've been trying to get her on my show for some time. We are busy little bees. So Kelsey has been on Southern Charm of New Orleans for 2 seasons. Kelsey, tell everybody, how did you get on the show? Where did that start?
Craziest story ever. My crazy boyfriend, Justin Reese. So I was actually in California. I was a travel nurse working out there. We started dating, and I will never forget this. I was in San Francisco on the side of a mountain taking pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. And he calls me, and he's like, babe, I just got off the craziest call ever. Bravo executives want me to be on a show. They're asking me if I have a girlfriend. Would you be interested? And I said, no. No, I'm busy. No, thank you.
How did they find him?
Through some friends. So
cool.
They part of the process for all the shows is they kind of send their men out to whatever city, town, wherever they want to, they're interested in filming.
Right.
And they kind of just get to know the people around, and, if they have any connections, they'll kind of go and meet some of the people around, and then those people will introduce them to other people. And it was kind of word of mouth. They were looking for some fun, energetic, younger people that really represented New Orleans well. And so, Justin knows everyone in the city.
So you finally gave in.
Halfway through season 1.
Really?
For the first couple of weeks in season 1, I didn't film. They were there, I think, through the New Year all the way through Mardi Gras season. And there was several events that they did that I wasn't a part of because I just really wasn't interested.
Yeah. I mean, were you nervous, scared, or was it just...
I'm just a really private person.
Okay.
And this is, being on TV was not ever in my mind, in my wants out of life.
Right.
So...
was it on your vision board?
It was... It was nowhere on my vision board. Nowhere on my vision board. No. I mean, it was almost something that I couldn't even really comprehend, if I can be completely honest, because it's just how many people get the opportunity to be on television, you know? And it's crazy because my best friend and I have always joked and said, man, we would make such a good reality television show. People could just come watch us, just follow us.
I say that about my family, actually.
But it's really different having a camera. You really know who is meant for it.
Right.
When they put a microphone on you, which is like the most intimate thing you'll ever have done to you.
And then you have to be careful what you say.
Right.
Because they pick up everything.
Everything. And then pull that camera up, and they stop talking, and it's at that moment when they're not talking to you anymore, and it's your turn to say something. Right. It can be very intimidating.
Yeah. So your friends, the friends on the show, are you guys really friends, or how did that group all come, or did Bravo pull that group together?
No. So they have all been friends for many years. I'm the newbie that came in because I'm not from New Orleans originally.
Okay.
And I moved there, partially to be with Justin, but also to go there to work.
And you're from Texas.
I'm from Texas, Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very much a Texas girl. So, I came into the friend circle after everyone had already decided to film. I mean, it hadn't started, but
right.
we were getting ready for it all. Excuse me. So the struggles that you see are really things that we go through. But I could say we're all friends. So at some level.
I mean, I know with Southern Charm of New Orleans, they had a lot of dynamics with Reagan and Jeff, and then they're split up, and then she became pregnant and married someone else. But there's also, you've been getting a lot of feedback, and I should say some criticism of you and Justin, because you and Justin have been together for a while now, and you're not engaged. And that was kind of a struggle during the last season on, you poop or get off the pot kind of thing.
Right.
So how do you handle that? And where are you and Justin right now?
Right. Well, good. Very good in-depth question. So what you see on TV are really things that we go through. But we are pushed. I mean, that's part of the producer's job, to really have us think about our feelings and really have us express our feelings to whatever. They don't tell us what to say. They don't tell us what to do, but they'll put us in situations and expect for us to be completely honest.
Right.
So, in this last season, you see Justin and I having this very intense conversation about our relationship. And I wouldn't say that was the first time that we were having talks, but it's not something that either one of us would really talk about often.
Right.
So, we're getting a lot of outside pressure, and that can really be very hard on a relationship.
Right. I was going to ask you how that has affected you personally, and then the show in general, how that's affected you personally.
So, honestly, I felt like I was getting wrapped up in the craziness. I was to a point where I was thinking, wait a second, we have been together for all this time.
Right.
We have done all these things. Where are we going?
Right. Maybe the producers are right. I really need to talk about this.
Or the chatter from everyone else.
Right.
And it really took a while for us to get to a point together where we, because we were at a point where people are like, well, if y'all aren't going to get married, y'all should just break up and blah, blah, blah. And one night when, of course, the cameras had gone and the dust kind of settled a little bit, Justin just said, I love you and I want to be with you. I'm very happy with you. I'm just not to the point where I want to get married, but I want to marry you.
Right.
And that was enough for me. I don't think that our relationship would really change much, like the dynamics of everything, how we live our day to day. We're parenting together. We have a beautiful dog.
Yeah.
We have this beautiful house that we've created together.
Right.
We have a really, really beautiful life, and to me, that's really all that matters.
Right.
So if a ring is a ring really gonna change?
Right. So
anything?
is the ring actually satisfying you, or all of the viewers and your family and friends and everybody else that's pressuring you? Because if you guys are happy, and it's good to hear that you guys are still together, and
absolutely,
at post show, but if it's the ring that's causing you pressure on your relationship, then set that.
Then I want no part of it, honestly.
You want no part of it. Set it aside.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's becoming the evil part of the relationship.
100%.
And it's supposed to be something of excitement.
Right. And I can tell you, honestly, Justin and I don't fight. Of course we have our things,
Sure.
please put your clothes in the hamper, or
Right.
why are your clothes in my hamper so that I do them?
Right.
Or, stuff like that. But it's not an annoyance. It's not something that
Right.
really is going to make or break our relationship. And this was the only thing that we really were butting heads on. And the craziest part to me about all of this is our family supports our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They have never pressured us. All of them said, while all of them want grandkids and, they're excited for that.
Right.
My parents have never said anything about it. Justin's parents have never said anything about it. It's all people who aren't truly connected to our relationship.
Mm-hmm. So how do you handle that? Because I think a lot of the feedback, and I know some of your castmates have gotten a lot of feedback of, I guess you would classify it as cyberbullying,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a conversation that Emily Simpson from Real Housewives of Orange County, I think I've told you that before the show, that we talked about some of the body image
Mm-hmm.
bullying that she would get. So how do you have you had to handle much of the cyberbullying yourself, or has it been more of your castmates?
There's been, everyone, I'll always say this, everyone has one person on the internet that's out to get them, and then other people that just have like little things to say. So yes, we have all had to deal with it, but this whole situation has been a really good lesson in what's important and what's not. And I've never really put much stock into what other people think or say about me. It just never.
Well, you can't. You
cannot.
got to have thick skin if you're
Right.
going to be on television.
And all I can do to get myself through, because it never will get easier to get a notification on your phone that you have a comment on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And you're like, oh, let me go see what my friend has to say. And you open it up and it's this like mean, terrible comment attacking your character. Well, it's not attacking your character. And so that's an important part.
Mm-hmm.
It's always very petty and unimportant comments.
Right.
That's what I've experienced, at least.
Yeah.
And if someone was telling me I was an awful person and I had a evil inside, or I've been mean to someone or anything like that, that would truly hurt my feelings. Yeah. But someone telling me that Justin doesn't love me, okay, who are you?
Right. And
you don't know me, so I just don't care.
You don't respond at all?
Sometimes, there are days if it's been a really good day and I have been annoyed past annoyance, then you never know. There are sometimes I will say something back.
And I think sometimes that some of the cyberbullying, that's what they want. They just want a reaction.
Mm-hmm. Because
but I know Emily has told me too, you get to a point to where you can't take it anymore and you just have to lash back out.
Well, so I have seen some of my other cast members they kind of spiral. So, there's a very happy medium in speaking your piece and that's it, versus continuing the conversation. And for every one terrible, terrible thing someone has to say, there's 1,500 random strangers telling you that you've encouraged them, that you're beautiful, that they love you, whatever.
That's nice.
And so while I don't put much stock in either side, it's good to have that buffer.
So who do you think takes more bullying from the social media in your castmates? Who gets the wrath?
I think probably Tamika.
And why do you think that is?
She has a very bold personality. She's boisterous. She speaks her mind. She doesn't really back down. But she also has an ooey gooey inside. She also can be very sweet and very protective of her friends, as you can see. Mm-hmm. And her personality, I think she's probably gotten this her whole life, but her personality is a very unique personality that not everyone can handle. So I think probably her. She
gets a lot of it.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit because I want to ask you about Jeff and I know that you are very protective of your friends and your castmates, but what can you share with us? Because I know that Jeff was in a horrible motocross or motorcycle accident. I say motocross all the time because, my son raced motocross, but he was in a motorcycle accident before Christmas. What can you tell us about that accident and how he was affected physically?
So he was involved in a really bad motorcycle accident. He was very, very sick for a while. Was in intensive care. But now he is, excuse me, he's doing better each and every day.
Good.
He has more support than he probably can handle. And all the love in the world. So,
Good.
He's doing much better, and we're so thankful that he's going to be okay.
That's wonderful. That's good to hear. Now I know that you like myself, we're both nurses.
Yeah.
And you worked in the nursing field for a while, and you were actually working in the hospital as a nurse while you were filming.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put myself in your place with that.
Mm-hmm.
How did you handle that as a nurse? That's, it's totally different dynamic when you have a nurse-patient relationship and the concentration is on that patient's care. Were you recognized from the show by your patients? And if you were, how did you handle that where you could get back to business and caring for them when they would get excited when they would recognize you from the show?
Yeah. So I was in PACU working at the time at Ochsner, the biggest hospital, very busy. And patients wake up crazy from anesthesia in general, but there would be times when it was just hilarious. You can't help but laugh at some of the things that people say.
Oh, I know.
Because they're under anesthesia. They're barely awake. And, I have so many stories, but one, I always joke.
We should do a whole show on, I don't know, we might get in trouble for that. That might be a HIPAA violation.
No,
I guess if we don't mention names.
You don't have to say names or faces.
We could do a whole show on the most hilarious things that patients have said and done coming out of anesthesia.
Yeah.
We could do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway,
and then
back
the family members, when they come back,
and the family
it's like a
members.
whole thing. But
that's like having another patient in the room. But
right, yeah.
That's a whole different show.
So, I always handle everything just, it's my job, and that's what I really love to do. The show, I tell everyone has a personal life on the weekends. Mine just happened to be filmed. So, but there was this one lady, she wasn't even my patient. I was the float nurse that day, and I'm walking around seeing if anyone needed anything. And, she's in the bed, she's waiting for a room, and her curtain was pulled because I think she was going to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
So I walked by and I just stuck my head in to see if the nurse was there, and she wasn't. So I kept going. And then when I come back, did another lap around, and the patient is sitting on the stretcher, on her knees, with her head out of the curtain. So she's at the end of the stretcher with her head out of the curtain, waiting for me to come back.
Aww.
And she was like, "I know you. Oh my God. I thought I was dreaming. I thought it was anesthesia. Oh my God." And she's like, "Can I please?" She's in a gown. Okay.
Aww.
No underwear, no bra, nothing. She just came out of surgery.
She wants a photo op.
She wanted my autograph.
Oh, so she wanted your autograph.
And she was joking around with me and stuff. And so I told her, well, since you're in the PACU, the only autograph I can give you is on your butt or your boobs. And she goes, "Okay." And so she turns over and I'm like, I'm joking. So we laughed. She actually was waiting for a room for quite a while in the PACU. And every time I passed by, she started busting out loud.
She mooned you for a signature.
Yeah, she was like, and I was like, "Ma'am, no." But usually everyone's pretty nice, and they, they're like, all they'll say is, "I love you on this show." They're always really respectful and stuff like that. And all I tell them is just, "Well, thank you, but this is my job. This is what I actually do, and this is what I love to do. Right. So I appreciate your support, but I hope you love me as a nurse too."
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I know everybody's going to want to know, so I'm going to try to pry something out of you.
Uh-oh.
Is there going to be a season 3?
Well,
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, "Wait and see." Is there going to be a season 3?
Well, I can tell you today, currently, what's the date? January 21st, 2020. I am not filming. We are actually, where are we? In Texarkana right now.
Yeah, we're in Texarkana
filming.
right now, not filming.
But all hope is not lost. It really is a wait and see.
Wait and see. So no, there's not a no and there's not a yes. We're actually waiting to see if there's a season 3. Right.
And from what I've always been told, no news is good news. So we'll just keep that positive vibe.
And will you be a part of season 3?
I will. Yes, I would be.
I will. Yes.
You know, this show and with this whole process, the last 3-4 years, has been super life-changing, not necessarily for my TV personality, but more so for just like my personal life. I've met so many great people. It's opened career paths for me. Excuse me. It's just opened up so many doors. So while it's really hard and can be very invasive and really difficult at times, I wouldn't not, if the opportunity was given to me again, I would love to, because I could only imagine what would happen.
And I can't imagine them having a season 3 and not having you and Justin, because I love you guys as a couple.
Aww,
You're unique in the fact that you are not married, but you are together, you live together, you have a home together, you have your pet pup together, and you have a very loving relationship.
Thank
and I think
you.
it shows people that you don't have to be married in order to have this relationship. Not that you don't want to be, or you don't want to have children one day, because you've shared with me that you do. It's just not, you're fulfilled right now.
Right.
You're fulfilled in your current situation.
Exactly. And, you know, I hope to encourage other people. You know, some people might say we're doing things backwards, but it was very important to me to live with him, to experience some difficult times, and to really, you know, I needed to see how he would react to stuff. I need to see, you know, having a dog, I am obsessed with my dog. I mean, he is like a child. He goes to daycare when we're not at home. He sleeps in the bed with us. I mean, I don't, he's as close to having a child as we could get at this moment. And Justin is so loving to him and takes such great care of him that just makes me even more excited to have kids. But it was important to me to take those steps before we went down a different road, because, you know, as much as I believe in marriage and stuff, I don't necessarily want to have to, you know, I know you don't ever know what's going to happen, but as best I can, I would like to be prepared and to see who he is at his core, to see how he reacts and interacts with his family. Just to see all that gives me such great feeling of our future. You know, it just makes me even more excited to what's going to come. But, you know, I always try to look at the glass half full and to encourage people as best I can. And I can't tell you how many text messages, you know, Instagram DMs that I've gotten of women that are in similar situations. And our relationship in general has given them either the courage to walk out of a relationship that wasn't necessarily as good for them.
Oh, wow.
Given them the courage to talk to their partner about steps and what their future holds. Because I didn't realize this, because I'm very much the opposite, but a lot of women don't feel comfortable having those conversations with the person that they are with, and that I don't understand. I mean, you have to know where you're going.
Right. You have to communicate.
Right. You have to tell people your expectations, or otherwise they'll probably not ever get to them, you know?
And I think a lot of women think that men can read our minds, and they're just to assume, or they're supposed to read between the lines and what we say. And then we get frustrated when things don't go our way, but we never communicated.
Right. And let me tell you 100%, just as we're not mind readers, they aren't. We have a woman's intuition that kind of will steer us in the right direction. And we study people a little bit differently. So we might know maybe
I
how.
totally believe in that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure you know when your husband stands a certain way, what he's thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Or in a situation, men they have a large vocabulary.
It's the stroke of the goatee that he does.
Yeah.
That I know that he's fixing to say something that's unfiltered.
Exactly. Well, there you go. And I know how Justin moves as well. They have a large vocabulary, but they don't have a large emotional vocabulary. So when it's a awkward conversation, like it just is different. Women are different than men. And so, we can't assume that. But really quick, I want to tell you that there was a girl, while she messaged me right after that episode aired and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the same situation as you. I haven't ever talked to my boyfriend about this, but I really would like to. And your conversation with Justin has given me the courage to do so. I'll keep you posted."
Nice.
So then a week later, she messages me again and she's like, "Okay, so we had the talk and everything went well and I'm really excited about our future." I promise you, I can show you the text message or the DM on Christmas Day this year. So it's almost a year ago. Mm-hmm. Christmas Day this year, he proposed to her.
Oh.
And she sent me the pictures and was like, "Oh,
she had the courage to have the conversation." Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And look what it did for their relationship.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And I know that about you, Kelsey. You're a very passionate person and you have a lot of inspiration in you. And that's what I love about you.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best. And of course, we do want a season 3 and we want you on season 3. But I know you have some other things that are going on. So I want you, first, I like to always have the women on my show tell me what inspires them. But what I'd like for you to do is not only tell us what inspires you, but how you're going to use that and what projects that you have coming up. Are you partnering with any businesses, or what are you currently working on right now that inspires you?
Yeah. So, well, a lot of things inspire me. I'm kind of I have a large love for a lot of things. But definitely I'm currently, my focus right now is learning. So I'm in school. I'm taking online classes as I work because I just feel like that's important to continue to learn every single day. So definitely my current focus passion is on school and just kind of bettering myself that way. But, if you follow me, you know that I work really closely with Kendra Scott. We host several events a year benefiting different charities around New Orleans. We try to keep it local just to help the community and give back.
Oh, great.
So, hopefully down the road we'll have some more events and some exciting things happen there. I'm also super, super passionate about animals of any kind, but more so my dogs. That's kind of what I focus on. And so, if y'all follow me, you see Ruru on there all the time, and he is my partner in crime. And so kind of tying in that, I am going to be working with someone that you guys probably are familiar with if you are a Bravo fan of any kind.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's kind of in the works, and I'm going to be really excited to be able to
share
that with
you. So it's top secret. You can't tell us right now.
Top secret. I can't give you any
information.
Everything's
top secret. I can't get any information out of you Bravo people.
That's Bravo's fault.
That's the Bravo way.
That's the Bravo way. It has to be big.
That's okay.
But it will be worth the wait. Excuse me. And I'm also working on a personal business venture that might be happening towards the end of the year, but I'm super, super, super excited about this.
Another secret.
I know it pulls in my love of animals, but in my love of New Orleans, and also my true passion of nursing all together. And I really, really, I can't wait. It's
excellent. So we'll know more about that later. So the way to find out about all of your events and everything that you're doing is we have to follow you.
You have to follow me.
So tell everybody how we can follow you on social media.
So on Instagram, I'm at Kelsey Brianne Nichols.
Spell it.
Ooh, KelseyBrianNenichols.
Got
and
it.
that is on Instagram. I do not really, I'm on Twitter, but I really do not get on Twitter. Twitter is like hell for people.
I know. I think Twitter is more of a Twitter fight and anger world these days. I don't know. I don't get on Twitter either.
It is.
Are you a Facebooker? Are you on
I do,
Facebook?
yeah, I have Facebook. I'm Kelsey Nichols on there as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, guys, make sure you follow Kelsey Nichols. If you didn't catch any of the first season or second season of Southern Charm of New Orleans, you can go back and catch that. I bet you can catch that on Netflix. Or
it is on Netflix, and I
where
think
else is
it's
it?
on the Bravo app as well.
The Bravo
app and on Bravo.com.
So at least get caught up in hopes that we're going to see a season 3, and that may be in the works soon. We are waiting to find out. And the best way to probably know is just follow Kelsey.
Just follow me.
As soon as she finds out, she's going to tell all of us. She's going to tell all of us. Well, thank you, Kelsey.
I
appreciate you being on the show. I love you, girl. And guys, if you haven't been to my website, sherryricard.com, go in there and join the mailing list, the Women Warriors, because then you can keep up with all of the events and things that I have going out throughout the year of 2020. And make sure you tune in and subscribe and hang out with us on next week. I have some amazing guests coming up this year. And remember to keep your faith in God, step out of your comfort zone, and try something that you never have tried before. Have a blessed